What up, Nine?
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
As the 9% and word would say, make a better you, a better us.
Who do you think you are? I'm the word. Who am I? I'm the one who put in the work.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.
What up, though? It's the word. You see the title. We about to get into it. But before we get into that, let me get into the chat. Miss Chicago, what up, though? Appreciate you, sis. My boy TWP Popcorn. Hope everything is good, brother. Hope everything is good. The one and only Didi. What up, though, y'all? Yeah, man, I'm gonna want to put in the work, and we about to put the work in. What up, Nine? What up, though? The general, the minister of defense is in the building. That's my Nine. What up, Commander? Appreciate you, sis. Appreciate you. Hey, how to manage others' emotions, right? This topic came to be. Shout out to my sister, the PhD. She always giving me thought-provoking ideas, right? And when she originally asked me this, it was under the context of leadership, right? How can a leader manage others' emotions? And I told her, like, man, you can't, because to be honest, in that position, it's very hard, especially when you have multiple people under you, to sit there to do your job and manage everyone's emotions. But this happens and it occurs often and a lot, right? Just not in a lot of times not in a productive way. We call it manipulation. And anybody been rocking out with me? Tay each y'all. There she go. That's my Nine. What up, Tay? That's my baby right there. You see my baby sister? That's my baby. She all grown up now. She got Doctor by her name. I gotta respect her. I gotta call her Doctor. But I'm proud of that. Shout out to my sister, man. This is the one who inspired the conversation. That's my intellectual sparring partner, right? Concept, words, ideologies, everything, man. It'd be like fencing. I don't know if y'all into fencing, but yeah. And she keep me sharp, man. She always got me thinking. I appreciate her so much. She inspired me. She motivated me. I don't know if y'all ever had somebody younger than y'all that y'all looked up to, but I look up to her. I look up to my little sister because she has accomplished so much with so little, and she's still doing the damn thing. So shout out to her. Shout out to my baby. That's my baby sister. That's mine. Shout out to my sister, man. Shout out to her. But yeah, she inspired me. She inspired this conversation. And like I said, in a leadership aspect, I just don't think you can be effective and efficient as a leader trying to manage others' emotions. But this conversation goes well far beyond the realms of just leadership. Is it plausible? Yes, it is plausible. There are ways, but like I said, it takes a significant amount of attention to an individual, right? Because people are different. So people have different triggers, different boundaries, different life experiences. So trying to manage multiple people, it'll be a headache. But it occurs a lot, because I'm pretty sure all of us have either inspired, motivated, encouraged, gave any type of uh why is the phrase slipping my mind right now? Positive reinforcement to anyone. That's a form of influence, right? And like I said, influence is a form of manipulation, right? And just so we got to understand, and let's look at some working definitions so we can build a foundation of what we actually talking about, right? So when we think of manipulation, manipulation is the exercise of harmful influence over others. There you go, influence right there. Harmful influence over others. People who manipulate others attack their mental and emotional side to get what they want. The person doing the manipulating, called the manipulator, seeks to create an imbalance of power. They take advantage of you to get power, control, benefits, and or privileges. So when you think of manipulation, generally you don't think of a positive. It's not positive, right? When people say manipulation or I'm being manipulated or I've been manipulated, generally is nothing positive. But there is a positive side of manipulation. It's right there. It's called influence. Now, when you influence someone, it's a little different, right? The capacity to have an effect on the character, development, or behavior of someone thing itself, right? So influence is the duality. Everything has duality, positive and negative. So we generally use the term influence when it's something positive. When it's something negative, we usually use the term manipulated. But in all actuality, manipulation is an action. It's something that was done or is being done. Influence is more of the intent, if that makes sense. If I'm losing y'all, let me know. But to influence, it's more of the what you doing. Manipulating is more of the why. Everything is about intent. So you can have good intent to make someone or help someone manage their emotions. Like I said about positive reinforcement. Positive reinforcement, someone doing something good and you give them acknowledgement, a lot of times it make them feel better. Listen to what I'm saying. I'm choosing the words very wisely. It makes them feel better, right? When you motivate someone, it gives them a feeling that makes them want to do better or do more. When you inspire someone, same thing. Is always a feeling. So they tell you if you control someone's mind, you control their body. I know y'all heard that before. You control the mind, you control the body. It's deeper than that, right? Because the way manipulation, influence, any of that works is by controlling the emotion. Think about what I'm saying. 9 times out of 10, like I said, we all have different experience. We've been love bombed before. Why does that work? Because of the way it makes us feel. We feel good. So we end up going with some BS, even though we can clearly see this person has negative intentions for us. But because they said something or did something to make us feel good, we ignored it. That's why love bombing works. Even when you manipulate someone out of fear, it's the feeling they have that gives them the thought. The thought creates the behavior or the action. So all this is based around emotions, how you feel. The way manipulation or influence work is how you feel. That the feeling creates the thought. Right? So if you can, and this is why I say it takes an enormous amount of effort, because on an individual basis, you have to understand the subject. You have to know what makes a person hot or cold. You can have all good intents to influence someone in a positive way, but if you use the wrong tactics, if you trigger the wrong emotions, it can have an adverse effect. It can have a negative effect. So you have to know the person. You have to understand what makes them feel good, what makes them feel bad. And a positive influence, again, the intent is to benefit the person. Now, while you manipulating, but I'll be listening. Okay, I appreciate you, Commander. I appreciate you. Appreciate you, sir. But when you manipulating, the intent is not to benefit the person at all. You're basically using the person to get what you need out of the situation. Right. So a lot of times people associate manipulation with narcissism, and that's true. But if you go through the DSM, you'll see manipulation is a tactic of a lot of different personalities, like psychopaths, sociopaths, Machiavellianism. They all use a form of manipulation, but it's always the intent. Why? Psychopaths, sociopaths usually want to manipulate you to dominate you or to harm you. I use that term because narcissists generally manipulate you to control you. Machiavellianism, they manipulate you to use you. So all three of the personalities manipulate. Oftentimes you'll hear people call people narcissists because they have manipulative ways, but you're not looking at the intent. So that's where you get lost with the personalities, right? Is the intent. So when we're talking about managing other people's emotions, like I said, there's a lot of positive ways you can, but it's a slippery slope too. Because remember, influence is a form of manipulation. So oftentimes when people give advice, they give it from their perspective. I'm not even going to say perspective. They give it from their perception. They generally listen to a person's problems and then tell them what they should do, right? But from what lens? And it is not easy to give people advice because ultimately you don't have to live with the consequences or the repercussions the person have to face for doing what you're telling them to do. So one of the things that I do, it's two things that I do when I give people advice, right? To counterbalance that. One, and for me, it's probably the most important thing. If I give someone advice, meaning if I'm telling them they should do X, Y, and Z, I am willing to share the burden or the load, the consequences, repercussions they got to face. I got their back. You know, if the outcome come out good, good. If it don't, then I'm gonna be there for them. Mr. Gary Busted Down Brown, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. That's my 9. That's my 33 brother. Appreciate you, bro. You know, that's one thing, and these are safeguards to make sure I'm being responsible when I give people advice, right? You want to be responsible because, like I said, you don't have to live with the consequences or the repercussions. So one is this: I make sure I'm willing, you know, I got their back, no matter if it turned out good or bad. If they do what I told them to do, I got their back. And two is this: I don't tell them what I would do. I look at what's beneficial for them, you know, understanding their circumstances and the situation they're in, because maybe I have experienced what they have, but my situation and my circumstances was different. You have to take that into account. You know, you have to really understand what you got to understand the resources available to the person. You got to understand the situation, you know, because it might be similar, but it might not be the same. You got to understand. I apologize. Give me 1 second. My bad. Oh, my bad. I didn't want to burp on the mic. But you gotta also understand the circumstances, right? Because yeah, maybe it's the same exact situation, right? But the circumstances are different. Maybe they got more invested into the person, or the person got more invested into them than what you had. Maybe it's kids involved. You know, maybe it's a house, money, you know, maybe it's something you got to take all that into consideration before you tell somebody what they should do. Because if they take your advice and it has an adverse effect from what you thought it would be, then what? Then they just SOL, right? You don't have to live with that. And oftentimes, especially on this app, you see that, right? People giving advice and they don't have to live with the consequences. People always telling you what they would do in a situation. Oftentimes, where this comes up is when people have faced some form of abuse. You know, people always say, "Well, why didn't you come out sooner? Why did you stay? Why did you don't understand the people's circumstances? You don't understand the situation. Even if you've been through that and you spoke up right away, that maybe you had the environment that allowed that. Maybe you had the support system that allowed that. You know, I've seen women try to get out abusive relationships, and not only did they get unalive, but the people who tried to help them got unalive too. Dude took out the mom and the sister and the girlfriend. They was trying to help her get away from him, and he took all three of them out. You really have to give advice. Like I said, anybody can do it. Everybody shouldn't do it though. Just because you can do something don't mean you qualified, right? I'm just being honest. Don't mean you qualified. You know, even dating advice. This is the most craziest thing. Um, like when you dating, right? When you dating is to get to know someone, right? You getting to know someone. So um it's just, to me, it's like it's weird that you have dating coaches. And it's like, if anything, you should have relationship coaches or even courtship coaches, because the dating aspect is just to get to know someone to see if you even want to get into a relationship. So if you need coaching on understanding people, um, they got classes for that, bro. You're gonna take a psychology class or something. Like these people, like it don't make sense to me. Dating coaches, dating is to get to know someone. Is you're not even courting yet. That's the process before you decide, hey, if we gonna be in a relationship or not. So if you need coached on getting to know someone, well, never mind. I put my foot in my mouth. This 2025. People's social skills are trash now. So maybe you do need a dating coach. My bad. I had to think about it. It's 2025. This ain't 99. This ain't the 99s or the 2000s where we actually interacted with people. You know what I'm saying? People don't have social skills no more. Social intelligence is a thing of the past. Blackbird, what up, though, my brother? What up, though? Man, haters gonna hate at work. F them people weird. I just say make sure you do your job right, because they can't wait for you to mess up. Exactly. And see, even in the workplace, you know, like I said, it is, for me. It's too much effort, you know, and you putting all this energy into other people. Like, what are they putting it back into you? So like, I wouldn't even try to manage no one's emotions in the workplace unless I got a small group. You know, if I'm in charge of like 3-4 people, then that's manageable. If that's my job, just to manage them, make sure they productive and stuff like that. Like if I'm more like an overseer, yeah, I can do that. I can do that all day. But man, I'm straight. People too weird. People too irrational, right? And even like I said, and sometimes this is the dangerous thing too. Even if you're doing it with the right intentions, you can give people a false sense of self too. You know, we can lay it on too thick. You know, the encouragement, the positive reinforcement. You know, you can give people a sense of false accomplishments at times. Um, you pampering them a lot, you know. So it's a slippery slope. Like you have to have boundaries, you know, of how far you will to engage and or invest into a co-worker's emotions, right? Now, a spouse is different. I'm all in when it comes to my wife. You know, I'm all in. You know, my kids, I'm all in. My family, I'm all in. I'm all in because that's more of an investment. You know, that time and attention that I give, I'm gonna get something out of that. But a coworker, that's no guarantee. That's no guarantee. And a lot of times, and it's easier when it's someone closer to you because you've been around them enough to observe to understand them. People don't really do that. I mean, but I'm saying you have the opportunity. You can be more effective and efficient with someone close to you, helping them manage their emotions versus somebody who you just work around. I just let you feel how you feel, right? If anything, like even emotional intelligence, like it's a duality to that. So as so within, so without. So when you think about emotional intelligence, you think about, am I aware of my emotion? Am I able to regulate my emotion? Am I able to express my emotions in a beneficial way? Right? That's how we look on the inside. Now the duality of that is the outside. Is this person aware of their emotions? Is you being able to identify if they can do those three steps? Are they aware? Can they regulate their emotions? And can they properly express it? Now, if you can identify that in people, you can keep yourself out of a lot of BS. I'm telling you, because some days, I can tell when people, like when I used to work at the hospital, like, okay, they're having a bad day. I'm straight. I know this person can't manage their emotion because they too capricious. They always exploding for no reason. This person quick tempered. They can't express, they can't regulate. This person always do something and a couple hours later come back apologize. And so now I'm not even I already see that they feeling some type of way. Let me stay away. You can keep away, or even just having a general conversation with somebody. You can tell if they in their emotion. A lot of times on here, when I'm talking to people, sometimes you'll hear me engage in dialogue where we having differences of opinion. And sometimes I hear stuff and I'll be like, man, I'm straight. I ain't about to say it because this person can't even definitely not regulating their emotion. I can't even talk. Every time I say a specific word, they get triggered and cut me off. Clear sign of someone who can't control their emotion, constantly cutting you off. Listening is an acquired skill. It's something you developed over time. Hearing is innate. Everyone can hear. And generally, when a person is listening because to understand the context of what someone says, you have to hear them out. So oftentimes when people cut people off, they just hear it. As soon as they hear something they don't agree with, then they interject. So once I see people doing that, it's like, I'm straight. Why put yourself through that? Remember, I told y'all to care about how you feel. Why put yourself through that when you don't have to? But it's just you being aware. You are responsible for the way you feel. And that's even interacting with people, right? You still, no matter what they say or do, you still responsible for you. So always put yourself in the best situation. Sometimes it's better to just let things go and walk away because this person, I mean, they can't even sort out their own ideas, let alone comprehend what you're trying to convey to them. So what's the point of even indulging in dialogue with them? What's the point? You wasting your time. And that's your fault, not theirs. People are who they are. People are where they are. We might want people to be at certain levels, but everybody ain't there. And that's just reality, man. That ain't, being mean or nothing. I'm gonna drop the link. And I think I'm all that. Okay, but keep thinking that. I'm done. Hey, that's how people be, man. People think I'm a know-it-all. I just know a lot about a little bit. That's it. I don't know it all, but I do know a lot about a little bit. I've been a Satanist on here. I've been so many different things. I'd be like, dang, bro. Like, y'all world perception. Like people, like I said, I know my sister ain't gonna say it, but I think Joe, if you still in the chat, what is the average comprehension level? Is it 8th grade, 6th grade? That's sad. Because when we think comprehension, we think of reading, but words written and spoken, they still words. So just like you can comprehend words written, you should be able to comprehend words that's being spoke or typed. You should, if you got a level of comprehension. And all it takes is for you to listen. But you have to listen without an emotional ear. Oftentimes people listen and they respond with or react to what they feel versus what they think. Your emotions will override your thoughts. Emotions create thoughts, so it's easy to override a thought. You can be happy one minute somebody can do something, then you can be ticked off. Why is that? Because your emotions overrid your original thought. That's why when I came on here, I was telling people, Anita, what up, though? When I first came on here, I used to always tell people this. If you don't control your emotions, someone else will. That's just reality. And people, they do it often. They do it often. Even think of content creators, right? What are we called? Influencers. Even in our titles. Like if you go to vidIQ, they tell you to use words in your title that have emotional triggers to get people to click on it. That's what vidIQ tells you. They telling you how to get more clicks and views. Use emotional trigger words. Use those words to get people to click on your video. Marketing is psychology. Marketing is psychology. So all these commercials and stuff y'all hear, they're created to manipulate you, to come buy or indulge in a product they produce. That's what the commercials are for. Music, movies, all that is a form of the intent is to manipulate you to get you to indulge in their product. That's the intent. And they do it very well. Even think about this, man. And I know y'all heard me. Anita, did I say what up, though? Anita, what up, though? And I know y'all heard me say this before, right? Check this out. When we talk about like name brand clothes and name brand anything, right? But I want to let's focus on clothes, right? Name brand clothing, right? People spend a lot of money on this name brand clothes. You're spending money to own a piece of product that this company made, and then you go out and wear it, right? And by you wearing it, it makes you feel good, right? Because you know this is name brand, this is expensive, this is good quality, whatever they done pumped in your head, right? Good quality name brand expensive. But when you step away from that and look at it from a logical aspect, do you know what you're doing? You're spending money to market other people's products. You're paying to market their product, because now that you're wearing this and you flossing and you flexing, I'm not gonna say everyone, but a lot of people make people feel bad for not owning that. And then what happens? People go buy it. People get teased for not having name brand. Oh, that ain't even in style. You ain't even wearing. People do that. So people go spend all their money, don't got no stocks in the company, but go buy the products, wear it around, and make them feel these pants cost this, this shirt costs that, this bag costs this. Yeah, all you doing is marketing, bro. That's all you really doing. And you paid to do that. You paid this company to wear their product to go out and market it for them, so other people can buy it. That's why a lot of these like high brand name, they don't need commercials and stuff. They got people on the street, people who will go outside their means of living to purchase these products. You got a Louis bag and you got a Gucci shoes and all this stuff, and guess what? You living in your mama house. You living in the hood. You can barely pay your phone bill. Your lights turned off. You got a quarter tank of gas in your new E-Class. but that's okay because you still fly. Man, that's wild. Like when you take your emotions out of it and think about what I'm saying. People paying all this money to and then try to guilt trip other people for not wearing. All along, these rich people, they going to Kmart and they going to Walmart. They getting their stuff at the local grocery store to sell clothes, shoes, and everything. Why? Because they know all that stuff is made in the same place. It's just stamped with a different name. They know that. But guess what they do? Guess what they do? They get stocks in that company because they know. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I heard somebody say this. I can't even remember who I heard say it, but I don't want to take the credit for it, even though I already knew it. But that's a poor man's way of thinking. See, poor people try to look rich. Rich people try to make money. They don't care about looking rich. They want to make money. Even a lot of these rappers, right? They be flexing and flossing with fake jewelry. Half of the cars they got are rented. They be taking all these loans out just to stunt. And now they working. They got to do 7 albums before they actually see some type of residual income or some type of money. They be having them slave contracts. But they on videos showing grills and diamonds. And what does that do? That influences you to go buy what the rappers got. Now you want to look like them. Now you want to be like them. And yes, you are. You just like them. You get all this fly stuff and you broke. So manipulation, that form, it happens every day. They manage y'all emotions every day. Selena in the building. Selena. Causes hair stick for quality. Hey. Not that kind of. Yeah, my bad. I'm going back up in the chat. Oh, let me. I don't think I pinned this letter. But yeah, that's how they manage your emotions, and like I said, they manage it to benefit them. So that will fall in the category of manipulation. Influence is a form of manipulation, whether it's good or bad. Manipulation, that's a working definition for people, but if you look at, all definitions have different meanings if it's used as a noun, verb, or adjective, right? So another definition of manipulation is altering it from the original. So tying your shoes is a form of manipulation. Cooking food is a form of manipulation. So anytime you alter something from its original state, it's considered a manipulation, right? But we talking about between people. So influence, is a form of manipulation. Generally, we call it influence when it has a positive effect. We call it manipulation when it has a negative effect. Thank you for listening. My bad, I'm back in the chat. Poor people want to think they're rich. Rich people know they are rich. And that's how it be, man. Like, oftentimes, poor people, they want the perception of wealth. They want to, because they think that shows value. That increases their value if they can put this name brand stuff on. Look, I can afford to buy this. I can afford to buy that. So it shows I have some value. I have some type of, I don't even want to say status, but look, I can afford expensive things. And they think that's rich. No, that's not rich. That's spending. Rich people find ways to make their money make money. Wealthy is obtaining, not spending. You obtain wealth. So spending money, having material things that depreciate as soon as you buy it, that's not a sign of wealth. Now, if you go buy some land, then that's something different. Even gold, gold, the value, it go up and down. But land is the hot commodity. That's one thing that don't really depreciate unless you just buy in a bad area. Even cars, cars, the value depreciate up until they hit 20 years old. Once they label as old school, then the value actually go up, especially if it's like a unique model, right? My brother-in-law, he do car restoration. So he deal with a lot. He got a couple. I'm not even gonna tell you how many classic cars he got, right? But those cars appreciate in value after 20 years. But that's if it's up to par. Luckily for him, he know how to do everything. He dropped motors and everything. He rebuilt it from scratch. Hold on 1 second. Let me play let's check on my son. I think this is it.
What up, man?
Shit, we break things down. Concepts and all, we break it down. The whole about it, I'm the one who put it in work.
They are here to use you and do what they gotta do to get their money, right? And I hear a lot of us complain about what's going on.
Why is that such a bad thing? Because you don't possess it. So you're mad at me because I'm giving something that can help somebody, or I'm doing something that can help somebody. Community that, as we all build and we all grow, we're all going to continue to support one another. Like, that's never going to change, and it's never going to get to a point where I feel like anybody's told or getting accepted.
Thank you for your continued support. I bless you and I send you lots of hugs and kisses and blessings.
What up, man? Some people, they think they don't need anybody, but we all do. There's no self-made person. We all need someone, and if you think about it, because there's some people that say, no, I don't need any new friends, or I don't need friends, or I don't need to make contact with people. I don't need a, network. But then you think about it, how did you get your first job? Or how did you get your apartment? Or you start thinking about your life and those things, and then you realize you did have some sort of help.
Consistent with all your values and beliefs. That's, with all of them. So, you can believe in honesty and empathy and courage and, all of these things. But if you don't live consistent with those, it's that displaying integrity.
bro, my son karate kicked his nightlight off the thing. I'm like, it sounded like something fell. I thought he fell off the bed. Like, bro, sleep like they mama. What up, though, now?
What's good?
Nothing, chilling,
What's
chilling.
up, y'all? That's a dope little video you got.
Man, you know what? What's that? Go hard. Man, he like shout out to BDB and shout out to all the artists who participate in Battle of the Beats, man. It's some man. They let me. They allow me to use some of them beats, man. And I got some stuff, man. Yeah, man. Shout out to them, man. Some great artists. Definitely go check them out. I'm gonna put all the artists' name at the beginning of the video so y'all know who it is. But yeah, go hard. Go definitely check out, bro. You can look at BDB playlists and find their channels and the songs. But yeah, man, that I hear the beat and then I can kind of make the images to it. So yeah, shout out to them, man. I appreciate that. Shout out to you. I gotta get a better clip of you. Yeah, I gotta find a better clip, but I know you got on me the first time I made it.
Yeah, terrible.
I was in a rush and I couldn't find nothing. That's what I be telling you. I gotta help me. Remember, I'm legally blind. I need
You
help.
know I got 1,000 videos on my channel. Stop it.
But I don't know what, man. It'd be like if I don't clip it when I first hear it, it's hard to go back and find where it's at. So I did start, like when I'm on the laptop and y'all say something, I got my notebook right here to write it down. But when I'm just on my phone, I can't write the timestamp down. So it'd be hard to go back and find stuff, or just go through a random video and find something. Like it'd be a little, time. And my ADHD start kicking in. Like, but no, I'm
It
gonna
do be
find
hard,
something.
though. It do be hard to go back to a video, though. It really do. Not unless you clip it like you say right then and there. But on the topic of like just talking about what you were saying, I think you made some very good points as far as trying to manage people's emotions. Um, if you like me, I don't really care to
Yeah,
manage people's emotions because I've just come to the point that like people are gonna think what they want to think. People are gonna do what they want to do. But I feel like if anything, if anybody's emotions I would want to manage would be children.
yeah,
Trying to teach children how to manage their emotions and stuff like that. But if you want to, I think I would agree with you as far as manipulating and influence and just leading by example. For some
hmm
people, by doing that, um, you can manage their emotions. But some people, it don't matter what you do. You still they just gonna feel how they feel. You know what I'm saying? So, like you say, sometimes it's like you can't win. It depends on the person that you're dealing with. And I feel like as a manager, it's good to know emotional intelligence
hmm
because I feel like you can use that with your employees. You can begin to manage them with your emotional intelligence.
And like even on that part, right? Because my supervisor put me up on emotional intelligence when I was in the hospital, and he told me he was a white guy. He said, "Look, man, you a big black dude, bro." He said, "When you get angry and upset, that shit go scare people. They already want to be scared of you, so don't give them a reason. You need to learn emotional intelligence." And that was the first time I heard somebody put those two words together. Like, what is emotional intelligence? And he was saying like, "Oh, they got like online classes for it." I'm like, "What?" Then I start checking it out, and I'm looking like, "Damn! Like, why they don't teach you this in school?" I think I was like 25, 26. I had to be like 25 or 26. And then I just start reading up on it, and then I'm like, oh crap. Like, and the more I understood how important emotional intelligence is, it made more sense why they don't teach it. That's when I understood, like, this is how manipulation. Like this is like they can't. And then like I'm reading a passage, and it's talking about the importance of emotional awareness, being in the moment. You know, a lot of times when we feel stuff, that's what I always tell you. When you feel something, ask yourself why. Why do I feel this way? Oh, because this person said. Okay, I'll give you an example. If someone called me an N word, right, and I get upset, first thing I think is like, why am I being upset? Oh, because this person called me an N word. Okay, but who is this person, right?
Mm-hmm.
On me, does this person have any significance in my life? Like, can this person prevent me from making money, prevent me from breathing? Like, who is this person? And that's when I got to the point, like, man, fuck off. Excuse my French, but you know, like, whatever. And it didn't, like, for me to feel disrespected. I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta feel. I have to have one or two things: either some form of emotional intelligence, or you have to have the influence and power to be able to prevent me from doing something. Other than that, I look at you like, man, who is you?
Mm-hmm.
But that's a process. It took me time to get there, but I had to because of the environment I was working in. Because like people and like I worked in a hospital, so like in that, and this can pertain to any professional environment, but I worked around predominantly white people, and a lot of them was racist. They was prejudiced, and a lot of them produce racism. They will prevent you from moving up or even getting a pay rate. That's you have all these different qualities of people in there. So I had to understand how to navigate because I done built a life around this job. I'm not hustling no more. I'm going to school. So I'm dependent on this money. So either I can pop off or I can learn. Right. So I understood, like, once I was able to control when people are manipulating you, one of the worst things that you can do is not allow them to manipulate you. Oh, they get frustrated, they get pissed off. Because when a person is, especially in that type of environment, they want to do stuff and not be known or seen doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So when it don't work, then they up the ante.
Yep.
And then eventually people start seeing their actions like, damn, you really fucking with this person. Right? Like, you were like, why are you so hard on for this person? You start seeing it, but it might start off as passive aggressiveness, condescending things, a lot of gaslighting.
Yep.
But once that don't affect you, then they take it a step further because their whole goal is to harm you. I had to learn that. Like, people didn't like me just because I was young, intelligent, and black. Atmosphere, what up, though? Writers in the
Hey,
building, what up,
atmosphere.
Nine?
Hey, riders. No, I agree 100%. Listen, and this workplace is a beast, and I've been through. I pretty much want to say I've probably been through it all. And man, if it ain't one thing, it's emotional intelligence and managing your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
That's the key to working in these places. That's one of the keys. Not letting people know that certain things affect you. And
Mm-hmm.
when you hear stuff, just let it roll right off your back.
And
But you got to kind of play the game, especially when you know certain people are doing certain things or saying certain things about you. You play that game.
what's funny? You said that because that white guy, he a CRNA. You know, he like one of my close friends now. He a mentor, and he taught me so much. But he told me, he said, man, when you come in here, He said, act like this is a game. You got to play the game. But he said, look at it as an opportunity, though. You get to practice every day because this is just one level. He said, you talking about going to school to be a nurse, to be an a nurse anesthetist. This is child's play. The things you got to go through here. He said, you gonna have to. He was in the military, and he used to speak up for like black. He grew up in the hood, grew up around a lot of black people. So, uh, that's just like he grew up in the hood. He grew up off 7 Mile. Well, you don't know the area, but he grew up in my old hood, like where we moved to. It was a rough hood, but he used to always speak up. But he kept it real. He was like, "This is child's play." He said, "When you get up there," he said, "it's gonna get 10 times worse. So use this time right now for practice." He said, "This is just the opportunity to learn how to overcome adversity." He taught me a lot about the perception or how to create or develop a perspective of adversity, how to look at it as an opportunity to test yourself. He always told me that. He said, and then that's when I understood the concept, like, this is just an opportunity to show me how far I came and how far I got to go. Even today, any form of adversity, I look at it like, okay, this is an opportunity. This is preparing me for the next step. So, even understanding emotional intelligence, we talk about these concepts all the time, but at some point, people have to be honest with themselves. Like, how often do I use opportunities to practice this, to actually try to use it? Because it only works within a moment. But the more you do it, it becomes a habit. Like, ask yourself, and just taking those little steps. That thing, it seems so little, but it's so hard to do. When you angry, it's hard to ask yourself. It's hard to do an internal reflection to understand why you're angry, because a lot of times, like I'm gonna speak for myself, right? When I was younger, when people used to try to insult me like I was inferior to them, it made me angry because it was a piece of me who felt that way. I actually felt that way because this person was white, that they go get more benefits than me. Because this person is white, they go believe them more than they go believe me. Because this person that I felt that way. So once I fixed that, it didn't bother me no more. If a person said, "Oh, you think you better?" Okay, yeah, that's what you think. You can think you better than me. Doesn't do anything. Even if you are better than me, so what? That's you. But when I had those insecurities about myself and people tapped on it or people lurked around it, oh yeah, I felt some type of way.
Man, listen, it's really hard I can understand now, but I still somewhat can't really understand for the life of me how you've never had an altercation. You could be at work and you've never had an altercation with this person. Like y'all haven't even probably said one word to each other, or maybe just a few words, and this person does not like you. It
You,
just
you, you,
I don't
you,
I can't understand that. How can you just like not like somebody for no fucking reason?
and you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. I observe, even like, okay. So I that was one of the questions I always had. Like, how can you like somebody that you don't know? And I'll be honest with you, there's a variety of reasons. There's many reasons. But just to name a few, oftentimes where I see most is the person who dislikes someone else and really don't know them, or it's because they represent something that they desire. A lot of
Like they
times
can't,
people
yeah.
don't like you because of what you have or what you obtain, and they can't get, for some reason it keeps eluding them, but you got it. What makes you so special? And instead of them working harder, is what you represent. you know um a lot of times, A lot of times it's people own insecurities of why they don't like you. Sometimes it's just you, and this is another one I see a lot too, because you are something about you triggers them because of something that happened to them in their past. It could be the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you look. It triggers them. It reminds them of some traumatic event or some trauma a person put on them. Um, you remind. I've seen that a lot. Like I have people ask me how do I fix that because it's not fair to that person. It's not them. It's just they remind me of this. They remind me, and every time I see them, I get triggered. Like you got to heal from that. But most oftentimes, the the consensual conception of why is not even the person. It's the individual. You know, it's something within them that they need to either heal from, fix, or they just batshit crazy.
I agree. Like it like I cannot like somebody either and not really know them that much. And I guess it's for me is because I guess some of the same reasons you just said. But to me, it's like the quality, their personality is I don't necessarily like somebody who try to talk fast or you know what I mean. I'm just gonna kind of stay away from you. Just certain things that I see in people, I'll be like, nah, I'm good. But I won't give you like no attitude or nothing like that. Like I won't let it be known that like I don't like you. But you got some people that just like out of nowhere let it be known like I don't like you. You know what I'm
and I
saying?
and I want to give a little clarity too. There's a difference between like hate and just not wanting to deal with something, right? I don't think it's wrong if you see something or see somebody like, no, that ain't my cup of tea. Ain't nothing wrong with that. But I think when you like people, I have been in positions where it's like I don't even know people and they just come at me with all this hate. Like, bro, I'm not even doing nothing to you, not thinking about you. You know,
Right.
like those situations um, most commonly is what I just gave reference to. Um, but that's for me is normal. You know, everybody is not for everybody. So there'll be some people you like. It might be the character, the way they walk and talk. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's just not for me. But it's the difference between saying, okay, yeah, that's just not my cup of tea. Then I don't like this person. I want them gone. I want them out of here. I want them to like people be on that tip. Like, hold on, bro. It ain't that serious. Like I can still be cool with people. Like, what up though? No
Right.
problem.
Trying to
Even
take
if
you
they
out.
yeah, but when you start trying to take that's something wrong. That's what racism is. People get mad because of people race. Like, bro, like that shit weird, bro. That shit
Yeah.
weird. Like you want to
We
prevent somebody from living because of what race they are. Like, nah, bro.
right. Every day it's like I'm gonna take you out on some weird shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like your whole life, your whole little day is just on me. But that type of stuff I could never I just can't really understand. But it's like I understand, but I just still really can't get. It's still somewhat bothers me a bit, but I've come to terms with it now. Is like, I don't care about managing people's emotions. I don't care about how somebody feel. If you feel I'm this and I'm that, yeah, okay, bet. Like, I'm not fit to explain. I'm not fit to talk to you about it. I'm not fit to do none of that. It is what it is. I'm gonna let you keep running your mouth to people at work, telling people this, telling people that. I don't even care. Go ahead. Because I just feel like at the end of the day, who you are and your character will show eventually. And
Mm-hmm.
all of that talk, people talking about you this, you that, you this, all of that will come to the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually once you're there at the job, people gonna know you, know your mannerisms, know your character, know what type of person you are, and all of that other stuff people been talking about, saying you this, you that, you know what I mean, all of that eventually gonna disappear because it's gonna get to a point like, nah, this is not even who this person is. Or if you is like that, it's gonna come to the forefront.
I wanna review one of my old videos, Philosophy of Quicksand, because when I understood that or came up with that, I was just thinking like I was at a point like no matter what I do, people will think or feel whatever they want about me. Like, and I'm a strategist. I'd be like, well, how can I prove? And I'm like, man, you can't prove shit to people that's crazy. You can't. You're just not gonna be able to
Mm-mm.
prove things to them. You know, they go think what they want to think. People will
People
do
make up whole
things.
stories in their mind about
Not
you.
not only will they make a whole story up, but people will create conditions to try to prove their point. Meaning, they will do stuff so you can come out of character just to say,
And
"I
say,
told you
see,
so."
I told you.
Yep, people will do that. So I understood. I said, you know what, man? Whatever I do in the dark, I'm gonna do it in the light. You know why? Because when the light is shined on me in the dark, all you go see is my consistency. That's all you go see. My actions is go speak louder than any words anybody can say. Long as I do the right things, it will show. I don't have any malice or hate in my heart, so I don't do anything with that intention. I don't have it. I let it all go, and that it took work and it took time. And even when I feel it, I transmute it. I don't allow it to ruminate in me. I don't. I can feel some type of way, and 5, 10 minutes later, I'm my mood has changed because I care about how I feel. I'm not gonna sit up here and be angry and mad. It's not beneficial. It's not healthy. It's not beneficial. It's not gonna do nothing for me. Not nothing beneficial for me. So I can't hold it. I gotta let it go. And it's different ways. Sometimes you can vent, you can just go paint, you can create a song. It's different ways, but don't leave it in you. Get it out as soon as possible. Because the longer it stay in you, the more it's gonna affect other parts of you. So that's something it like I said, I practice. I still practice it. I'm human. I'm gonna feel some type of way. I'm gonna feel some type of way, but it's things you have to do something about it. What happens is, like I said, when you let it fester and ruminate, it turns to bitter. Anger will turn to bitterness.
Mhm.
That's what it will affect you in other aspects of life. You ever you ever been upset at somebody else triggered you, and you took the frustration out on them?
Mhm.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah, it
everybody
happens with
we all
family.
done, yeah, we all done did that. They call it the straw that broke the camel's back because it's in you. Eventually, it has to come out of you. What
What
up,
up,
though?
though?
Hey y'all, can y'all hear me?
Yep,
Yep,
that's
that's
me.
me.
Mm,
You got to
You got
say
to
okay,
say
I
echo.
hope
echo.
that you can hear me. I got
Hey,
my
Miss Lena.
earphone. Hey Tay, what's going on? Well, this is a really good subject. Yeah, the word it really is. Um, I'm still trying to learn emotional intelligence myself because I don't know about y'all, but sometimes I really struggle with it because um, a lot of the times the things that some people like do, it just at the time now I try to think before I react, but sometimes I can go left real quick, you know. And like I was talking about yesterday about I'll block a person in a minute. I don't have a problem with that. Um, and then I had to get to where I had to look at the pros and cons of the situation. And if it's more cons than pros, then I'm like, okay, I can't deal with this person. This person's out. So I'm still learning how to manage and to be emotionally intelligent because, it is difficult, especially dealing with people that don't even think about, you know, anybody else. They just do and expect you to deal with it or put up with what they have to say, especially like I said, if you're at work, even family, can do things and or especially being on this internet, you find out a lot of times you definitely gonna need some emotional intelligence or you're gonna always get yourself in mess. So, but I think I'm doing better, but I still need some work, the word. I
Girl,
still need some
is
work.
you telling?
Yeah, I do say, 'cause I be trying, a lot of times, but see, I think, too, I think sometimes people misjudge you, maybe because of or maybe how you look or whatever. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, that's people really need to stop doing it because you don't know how far people are to the edge. And if you do one more thing, just one more thing in that day, you just never know how close you are to that edge and let somebody do something and you ready to pop off. So I have been doing better this year. I got a long way to go, but emotional intelligence, it's some work. You got to put work in it. You really do. And self control, yeah, is one of, I guess that's a part of being emotional intelligent is having self control over yourself too, and managing your emotions. And sometimes, it can be a bit much, you know. So,
And
especially with us being, I know for me, I'm a woman, so hormonally, I'm sometimes, out of whack too, depending on what time of the month. So it's a lot of stuff going on. I'm not blaming my cycle, but I am saying that there is some factors and sometimes as women, how we can become very either overly emotional, erratic at times. So I'm just, like I said, I was saying yesterday, I'm just jacked up, you know, and hopefully I will get better. So that's how I see it. But thank you so much for this topic.
oh no,
Oh
for
no, for
sure.
sure.
And we got
We
it.
got it.
Junior.
Echo.
I
Yeah,
do.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, you cool. You can just put mute. Oh, there it goes. It's gone. But you, from what it
Oh yeah, I
sounds.
got I had on my earphones.
That's cool. Good. Yeah,
Uh
like
huh. So I hope
it was
I hope
a
y'all heard
trick Gary.
everything I said.
Oh yeah, it was
No, we
just the
heard
echo
it.
when we spoke. A trick that Gary taught me is when you got your earphones on, turn the Wi-Fi
Mhm.
off when you're on your phone, and that worked for
Oh,
me
okay.
because I used to get that echo. But I wanted to say, it sounds like you have you making progress though because you're aware, and emotional intelligence and self control is a byproduct of emotional intelligence.
Right.
The more you develop it, the more you actually gain, self, because the emotion is an aspect of self. But like what I suggest, because like I'm starting to teach this to young men, and one of the tools that is often used is people say step back and take a breath. Right, one of
Hmm.
the most effective things I found useful is questioning yourself, going into a dialogue because you have to do something to make to prevent you from reaction so the process of thought can occur. So what's the best way to start that process of thought is to ask yourself a question. But like I said, in the moment it's hard, but the more practice you get, because like I said, I've been practicing this since I was 25. And I think
Hmm.
everything start falling together maybe in my 30, like 31, 32, and it's like, okay, I got this. Now I feel I'm at a point of mastery because uh I do not react, I only respond. I got to that
Hmm.
point where there's no, because the reaction is predicated upon action, meaning the person who initiated is in control. So just by reacting, I gave away my control. So to
Right.
maintain control, I have to be in a state of response. And to do that, I have to think. That's the difference between the reaction and response is the thought. So how do I get to the part of thinking? Simply ask myself a question. But it's practice, So a lot of times,
Right.
and it is degrees of it too, because you have different levels of triggers, right? And somebody can
Hmm.
say, and we all different, my triggers would be, somebody messing with my kids or my wife. You ain't
Right.
gonna really trigger me too much by messing with me. It's a couple things you can do, but even then, even when I get triggered, I won't go into that um, aggressive state. It's more like
Right.
an alarm. Like, okay, it's going down. Now it's
Right.
time to employ all these things I learned. I get triggered. Oh, excuse me, I get triggered like that. But it's
Mhm.
just putting things in place. Just think, I call them tools, right? But it can be like
Right.
contingency plans. When the plane going down, what's the first thing you do? You put the mask on.
Mhm.
So you just have contingency plan. You know, when you plan for success, if you ain't plan to be successful, you plan to fail. So just have things in place. You're already conscious, like, hey, this is you're aware. This is something I want to work on. Okay, so what's the first step? First step is awareness. That's why I
Mhm.
say when you feel some type of way, if it's good or bad, practice and check this out. Practice doing it when you feel good too, because
Okay.
if you get in the mode of practicing, why do I feel this way? It'll innately happen if you feeling good or bad about a situation.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? It's just building new habits.
Okay. Well, I definitely hear what you're saying. Like I said, I've been practicing. And I like I said, I haven't cussed anybody out lately. Especially on here. I just been kind of just, I'm like, if my chat only gets maybe 10, 12 people, I guess I'm good, because at least I ain't in the beef and people ain't trying to be in here to be nosy to see what I got to say on that. So I guess, we just have to take what we can get. So, but it's all good. I appreciate you guys for letting me up. Um, and Tay, it's good to see you. I
You
asked about
too.
you from time to time. So, yeah, I just, like I said, I'm just trying to keep on the straight and narrow the best way I can.
Man, let me tell you something. I didn't backpedal because I remember a time
You
when
did?
I could say people could say things and I could let them slide, you know?
Right. You cut somebody out just recently, Tay?
But I'm saying now I feel like I didn't let certain things bother me now.
Mm-hmm.
I let
Okay.
certain things bother me now because especially like the profession that I'm in and
Mm-hmm.
stuff, the job that I do, like people test me all the time. And it's like I
Right.
could tell I've gotten bad because majority of the time when they say something, I say something back. Because when you deal, especially like when you dealing with inmates, as long as you giving them everything that they want, you all right with them. But the minute you say no, oh, you a bitch, you a fat bitch, oh, you did, you know what I mean? They got all kind of words for you. You a
Oh
hoe,
my
you
God.
trashy, you this, you that, or whatever. And it's like every time they say something, I got something to say. And
You
it's
do.
sad because I shouldn't have to. But if you be like, if you say something to me, you used to call me a bitch, your mama a bitch.
Right.
You
So
know
let me
what I
ask you this.
mean?
Tay, you work with women inmates or men?
Men,
And they be
I
talking
work
to
with
you like
men.
that?
Girl, yeah, they will talk to you, girl. Don't give
I
them
thought they
something
would
that
be.
they want. They will, girl, whatever it is, you
Uh,
fat, you a bitch, you trashy, they don't care, girl. They gonna talk bad about you. They
oh,
don't
okay. I thought they'd
bullshit
be
you.
flirting with you.
They do flirt, but say
Mhm.
it don't matter. They'll flirt with you one time and then they'll ask you for something and you say no, then you a
Mhm.
bitch.
Wow, that's crazy. I tell you, you kind of tough. You working with them inmates. Uh, so yeah, these folks better leave you alone. You might you get in your moves and body slam somebody. So they just don't know. Look, what they say, don't let looks fool you. But I can see kind of where you kind of, your attitude will flip too, dealing with those type of people, because it's like they're so disrespectful. you know.
Mm.
And one thing that I can say, I think people in this world have gotten even more disrespectful. They just disrespectful, you know. They don't care what they say to anybody. So, you
And I
know,
think
like I
people got a
said,
lot of mental issues too. And
right,
it's
that
like
part.
you gotta let, and I understand you gotta let some of that slide. Cause
Right.
people really, a lot of people really do got mental issues. Like a
They
lot of
do.
people do, and they don't know any
Right.
better. And if you feed into that, it's kind of like you're the mental person too. You know what I mean? Cause you
Right.
know what you dealing with. You know this person ain't got it all together, and then you react to what they're saying. It's just kind of like, come on, man. You know better. They don't know better, but you know better.
Right. That's right, Tay. Like I said, but look, we a work in progress. We better than we was the year before. So we just take what we can get. But yeah, I really appreciate you for letting me up. I'm gonna get off this phone. I was finishing doing some homework, and I said, let me see what the word talking about. So I'm about to get ready to go to sleep because I got to get up early in the morning. But I
Before
appreciate
you
you guys.
can you hear me? Before you go,
Huh?
before you go, I want to tell you something. I want to put you up on some game because
Okay.
Tay just said something real significant. Hold on, let me switch my mic back. He said something real significant. So
Uh,
you heard of PTSD before, right?
yes.
We know what PTSD. Have you ever heard of PED?
Uh.
It's a real um, sickness similar to PTSD, but it's called post traumatic embitterment disorder. This is when people hold on to anger and pain and rage for too long. You ever seen someone who was still mad at someone who passed away?
Yeah.
And with this illness, just like PTSD, they have triggers. So on this app, and this is one of the most undiagnosed sicknesses that people walk around with. So on this app, you see this often. You know, a lot of people, like I said, it goes undiagnosed. So just
Uh,
the people who always mad, and that
right.
anger transfer from person to person so easily. These people are bitter, and that's a
Right.
mental illness. You can look that up when you get time. Look up PTED, post traumatic embitterment disorder, is a real thing. And uh, like when I first came on this app, I was like, "Oh, this is running rampant on here," but it explained why
Right.
people are the way they are, and that's just another way to identify people to stay the hell away from. I'm just being
That
honest
part.
with you. Because you can't do nothing about nobody's bitterness. These people need psychological help, and I'm just being honest. I'm being
Hmm.
That
honest.
part. Cause I'm
Some
like,
people really need help on here.
cause
Yeah,
I'm
they
like,
do.
I know I got issues like the next person, but some of these people, it's on something ain't right, you know. So, like I said, we all got faults and stuff, but some of these people do have a lot of mental illnesses going on. And even, I had struggled with depression. You know, sometimes I have struggled with depression. Um, sir, things in my life that has happened that, I kind of, was depressed for a minute, but, I guess I'm functional even in depression. But some of these other people have like bipolar, they're manic. Um, some of them have multiple personalities. Um, so they have a lot of things, schizophrenia. Some of these things are just, like you said, undiagnosed. But we definitely need to take mental health very seriously. We definitely do. And I don't think sometimes people do because they think they're okay. I think that's a part of their mental illness is delusion. So, but yeah, it is what it is. But I'm finna get off this phone. I appreciate you guys letting me up. And well, I was gonna ask you, are you gonna be busy 4 o'clock tomorrow?
4 o'clock tomorrow. Yeah. My wife, she got to work tomorrow, so I had the kids. Um,
Okay.
I can
Well,
try to put my daughter to sleep. I can try to put her to sleep. Yeah, that's she take her nap between 2 and 4. So if I can get her down, then I can get on. My son usually, I can give him I got him this little easel, so I can let him paint a picture, and he'll give me a minute.
okay. Well, if you would come up, I would really appreciate it on tomorrow. We're going to have an in-depth discussion. Then I kind of would like to have your feedback. I'm going to be quiet and let you talk and give your input on it. So if you please come up, I would really appreciate you.
Oh, for sure. You said 4 o'clock tomorrow.
Uh-huh. I think I said 4:05. I think that's when I put it. So we're talking about astrology. So I want to get your input. And again, I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to have people, I want people with different perspectives up there. So I would love for you to come up.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. All right, then. I'll talk to you guys later. Love y'all to Reese's Pieces. And take care of yourself. And I'll talk to you guys later, okay?
Love you too, girl. Talk to you later.
Talk
All
to you
right.
later.
Bye bye.
But yeah. Girl, I get home and then I
Is
be cussing these kids out. Commander.
and Commander is embitterment with an E. Hold on, let me show you. Let me share my screen real quick. Oh, what did I just do? Oh, uh,
But just speaking on what Selena was saying, like, I gotta work on that because I remember at one point I was better than what I am now. And I used to let stuff roll off my back, and I just feel like I backpedaled a little bit. You know what I mean? I didn't backpedal.
it,
Now you say something, I'm saying something right back. you know?
it, you I wouldn't look at it as a back pedal, right? Because you gotta take everything, all the variables in, right? Um, you ever heard of the phrase "new level, new devil"? So from your prior condition or situation, because you wasn't in this environment that you in now, it's like you passed that level, but now you're going into an environment that's a little bit more hostile. So yeah, you went back or reverted to your old habits, but at least you're aware and you have some experience, right? So now you just got to use this as an opportunity. Um, Now you just got to use this
Mm,
as an
I
opportunity.
didn't look at it like that.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say. Oftentimes we think we backpedal, but no, it's a new level. So it's a whole new experience. Now, this is what I'm saying. You have more opportunity, a wide array of opportunity. Think about the environments where you mastered it in, right? It was
Hmm.
probably limited access to the type of people that you're around now, but that experience in that environment is going to give you um, more in depth know how to do it in this environment. Yeah, I mean it's new and
You
fresh, so
right.
it's just another opportunity. That's
You
all it is.
right. I didn't think of it like that. I felt like I was backpedaling or whatever. Oh, I feel like I still kind of backpedaled a little bit because even though I am in a new environment, sometimes when they say certain things, I know I don't have to respond, but I still respond. Knowing I don't, it's in certain instances I feel like I wouldn't have responded. I wouldn't have responded, but I don't know. I think I slightly backpedaled, but I get what you're saying, and the way you put it, I think that's interesting, and I think you're 100% correct on that. Um, it's just that I agree with what you're saying because if you understand the environment that I'm in, you got people that manipulate and they play a lot of games,
Hmm.
right? because I'm in a situation that, I told you how they'll say certain things to me, and they'll even be like, "You're racist." They pull those cards. Because you say no to them or you say something, and it could be, a Mexican dude asking for some. You don't want you racist. You know what I mean? Now they want to play that stuff. It's like these people got nothing but time. They ain't nothing but
Mm-hmm.
against four walls.
Mm-hmm.
So they got nothing but time.
They use just like I just told you to use them for
They use
practice.
mental games.
They using you for practice.
Yeah, they do. And I know it. I know it. But sometimes I'll feed into it and I'll respond to what they're saying when I know they're playing games. I know they'll say certain things to me just to get me riled up. Just to, you know what I mean? Get me pissed off or whatever. Or even just wanna you got some that'll just even want to just have a conversation with you because they can't they in 4 walls, they can't really talk to nobody, so to even talk to you for 2 minutes, it makes their day if they can just say something to just piss you off and then get you to talk back, you know I know this, but
Hey, little mama, just hold me down for 1 second. Little mama just came out here. Let me get her back
for
in the room.
real, sorry for the off topic, but have anyone seen the planets in the sky? It's been cloudy and ready since they become. No, I haven't really looked in the sky. I should have been looking. Honestly, I can't say. I should deport them, Commander. Girl, crazy. But I think um I don't know. It's a learning lesson, and I feel like, emotional intelligence and just me learning myself, I think I'll get better and better with time. But yeah, your girl snapped back. Some baby, let them say something. Anytime, listen, anytime they try to say something to me, they call me a B. They call me this. The first thing I'll be like is your mama. And I know I don't have to respond. But hey, sometimes it just be in me. I'll be ready. I'll be like, come on, let's go. I'll be ready to
Yeah,
roast.
that couldn't be me because as soon as they said that, you know what, I'd be like, did that make you feel better? Yeah. Well, you still locked up, and I just walk away. I'm petty as hell.
That's a good one.
I'm petty as hell. Did you feel better now? Yeah. Okay. You still locked up. Okay. So, and
That's a
I'm
good
free.
one.
Nah,
I'll probably try that one.
man. I'm telling you because the whole intention is to get some type of reaction out of you. So if you give them a response, that should have hit them like, oh damn, like oh they
Yeah,
looking for an emotional jerk, right? That's what they're looking for
they
that
are.
initial twitch, like yeah, to take you from one mood to another. So you look at them calmly, like, did that make you feel better? Yeah, it
Hmm.
did. You still locked up. All right. Have a nice day
And
behind the bars.
I've had a few where I didn't respond. And listen, I had one guy where he was going off, and I just, me, I just slammed the jail doors on you. Cat cat, you
Mm-hmm.
asking for something, you be like, can I get it? You start cussing, cat cat, I slammed that door on you quick. Like, I don't care what you say, I just let you keep talking or whatever. And I had this one guy, he started a fire in his own cell because see they like to if you don't do certain stuff, they like to get attention and they'll start setting fires in their
Uh-huh.
cell and stuff like that. And honestly, I half of the time I really don't even be wanting to call.
I'd have
Cause
been
I'd be
like,
like, dude,
dang.
that's you. You gonna burn up in that cell by yourself.
I'd have been sitting there like, what's that thing? I got when you lock up. Yeah, that happened to me. I couldn't make the call.
Man,
Just-
I don't even be wanting to call a sergeant down there when they be setting the fire. I be like, okay, well shit, just burn then. Burn up. Because you the dummy. Why you gonna set yourself on fire? You can't go nowhere. You can't get out the door. Like you trying to get attention because you mad and upset. Okay. Then burn up, motherfucker.
Barbecue. What that barbecue? I would have been like, hold on, let me go get some marshmallow before we call the captain. Let me
They're like some
make a s'more.
kids. They're some big kids, want attention.
Yeah, there's man. I heard some wild stories. You know, it's things like them reality shows. Man. You know, I don't know a lot of times about the reality shows when they be going in prison. But I mean, even just the stories like my stepdad's sister, my sister's dad had a girl before them, and she a CEO. Man, she was telling me she had me teaching her different moves and stuff. But she said she had to restrain a couple dudes, so I was training her, and she was like, I remember one day she put this dude in the arm lock. She was like, "Yeah, I did it." And I was like, "That's what's up." But yeah, I couldn't imagine, man. You still there? Can you hear me? Uh-oh. Did it drop down? Oh, yeah, okay. They dropped down. Thought I dropped down. Yeah, but yeah, we got it in. Tell them no. For you. Did you lose it? Yeah, she'll probably be back up. Yeah, she'll be back up. She can come up. She get access to it. So she can pop back up. Her phone probably died. You wish you had it. While you work on it. That's what's up, sir. Work on your poem. Yeah, we just talked. And we just chatting now. I said everything I had to say. You know, we delineated. Went into greater detail about it. So yeah, man, just emotional intelligence is key. Not just for you, but to be aware of other people's emotions. Hey, Commander, do I sound like I'm on T-Mobile? But to be aware too of other people. And man, I'm telling you, man, it's like a keto. It's like emotional, mental keto, where you can recognize other people when they're in their feelings and emotion. Man, you can avoid, you can step to the side, and it's blissful, man. It's just another way to understand who you can interact with. You know, that. Listen, the reason we have problems with other people is because a lot of people don't even need to be dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, is that pay?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here.
that's fair. Okay, I was like, yeah, that's part. I was like, they can come up by herself. I'm outside, but I'm outside, yo. But yeah, it's like mental keto. Like you just understand who you can interact with and who you shouldn't. Because that's why most people have problems because oil and water don't mix. A lot of times we just be dealing with the wrong people and we don't identify it until it's a problem. And just being aware of who you knowing yourself and knowing what you can tolerate and what you can't tolerate, you will avoid a lot of BS in life, man. I mean, your circle might turn to a dot, but you'll have more peace. You'll be at peace. You know, you won't get all this drama in your life. You know, when my circle turned into a dot, and then you begin once you eliminate the wrong people, you make room for the right people. A lot of times you don't have the right people in your life because it's occupied by the wrong people. So, and like, man, if
Facts.
you around people and they ain't making you a better person, I'm being honest with you. I'm 40 years old. I'm telling you, you around the wrong goddamn people. The people who, if you ain't around people who inspire you, who make you think, who make you develop, you're around the wrong people, man. If they ain't giving, they taking.
Facts. Preaching straight up.
And it took me 40 years to truly digest that because, you know people when you're younger, you cool with people, you might get their best attention, but they ain't thinking about you. So, I mean, at some point, you gotta, that's why it's 2025 and one of the most common conversations I hear is people talking about self love, you know, and these are people my age, older than, and it's sad because this is something that we should have been doing, understanding the concept of self love, putting ourselves, like, think about this. You go out, you take a cup and you fill it up with water and you keep filling it, and then it start pouring out. Everything around it is wet, right? So imagine you do that self for you. You fill yourself up and you keep doing it and keep doing it, and eventually you just go pour out and flood everything around you. That's you making everything better. If you pour all this goodness and wholesomeness and all this love in yourself, it's gonna flow out. You ain't gotta give what's into you, and that's gonna deplete you. And a lot of times that's what people do. It be one way relationship, and you filling other people up, and you ain't getting nothing in return. That ain't how it's supposed to go. Fill yourself up first, and allow your overflow to affect others. That's the most effective, efficient way.
Definitely not balanced. Commander roasting you. She said you sound alright. Just a little bit muffled, Timu.
And I'm gonna be Kilu until I stir my Kool-Aid. How about that? How about that? Commander be hating on my earpiece. I feel like I'm in Star Trek. That's why I ain't got them big earmuffs on my head. I can use the earpiece and walk around and talk. But let me get back on the mic before I continue to get roasted by Commander. To the 10th power, for real? The 10th? We couldn't stop at 5. We had to go all the way to 10. I can't wait till I get my board. How about that? And cash me out. How about that, Commander?
No, but I don't know. And for me, I don't I'm trying to do this until I get my goal and what I want to do. But man, working in corporate or just working period, I don't know how long I can do this because I honestly can't stand just the people. It don't matter where you go.
It don't. It don't.
I don't care where you go, baby. Any job you go to, it's going to be somebody. It's going to be something. So something. I don't care. You know what I mean? You would think that working, especially in the field that I'm in, you would think that you guys would kind of have each other back because you working in the profession where it's basically the inmates against y'all, inmates against the officers. So you would think that the officers would come together, but man, sometimes your coworkers be the worst people. And it's sad to say, sometimes some of them inmates will have your back before your coworkers will. And that's terrible to say, but it is. And that's why I say it don't matter where you go, it's going to be something. And I can't do it. I just can't. I don't like being in environments where, you know what I mean, people feel some type of way, and I just don't have time for that. I really don't.
And you know what? That's the sad part, and that's why, like for me, it was like even when I got into real estate, I'm like, I want to be a contractor, work for myself. Got into real estate, like man, this bullshit. People still hating. Got into life insurance, like they still hating. Like it's just people, man.
It don't
Like,
matter where you go,
it's
what
almost like
profession you get in. If you don't have your own business working by yourself,
yeah, I was about to say that. Like if you ain't putting the team together, if you ain't putting the people together, you just got to work with what you got. You gonna run into those issues. You know, you gonna run into those issues. It's just people, man. You know, like I said, we ain't meant to interact with everyone, but like in our personal life, we don't. But it's times like work that we kind of forced, to just work with random people. You know, it's really not our decision who our coworkers are. Like a lot of times, like even with family, a lot of times it ain't our decision who our family is. We roll with what we got, and it's just understanding how to interact with people. That's the one thing I learned too. Like even through emotional intelligence, like I understood how to interact with people. Like people I couldn't really tolerate, I set firm boundaries with them. Just have a discussion. So this don't because one of the things is like one minute because we work together, we all cool. The next minute people backstabbing. No, you set a firm boundary. Like, look, I don't play this, I don't play that. You do your thing, you cool. I don't bother you. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm cool. I ain't gonna bother you. Don't bother me. And we get along. We do these hours. We go home. You don't worry about me. I don't worry about you. We got that understanding. Good. Okay, we good to go. I had to tell a couple people that. Like, nah, bro, we ain't about to do all this. Nah, it's gonna be an issue, and I'm gonna be feeling some type of way one day. Catch your ass coming out of work. You better leave me the hell alone. Like, so you just talk to them and set them firm boundaries. Man.
and that's where the point I'm at in my job is like I'm I'm new, but I'm putting boundaries down because only if you knew this type of stuff that I'm going like right now I'm going through stuff where it's talk about me like I'm mean, I'm this and that or whatever, which I don't really care. You know what I mean? What they say. But you got officers that will come to my wing. It's like one thing is that I feel like it's out of bounds where I have officers that'll come to my wing and start doing stuff like running my wing a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
You'll start, you know what I mean? You come into, and that's a no-no. And
Yeah.
they should know better. You know what I mean? These people have been here way longer than me. You should know better. But I don't know if you feel like I'm new. So you want to come and you want to start pulling people out of my cell, out of the cell without my permission. I had one guy the other day want to try to pull somebody out. He's looking at the roster and something just told me to ask him, like, what are you doing? So I go in like, what are you doing? Because I didn't have anybody like help me. We call like inmates, certain inmates that help you. We call them like SSIs. So they'll help you pass out child and stuff like that. So I didn't really have anybody to do that for me. And I had an officer come on my wing and try to pull somebody out. So I said, what are you doing? Well, I'm gonna try to pull somebody out for you. Well, hold on. I had to tell him, hold on, this is my wing. How are you gonna try to come and try to pull somebody out without telling me? I
Right.
don't come on your wing and do that. Don't you do that? You know what I mean? So, and I've had to do this several times with like three people already. And so now since I've done it, it's like a word going around like I'm mean, I'm a bitch, I'm this. I don't care. But one thing, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my boundaries down. Y'all not just come to my
Mm-hmm.
wing and try to just do whatever you want to do. Cause you got people that'll come to your wing, stir up stuff with inmates, and then leave, and then you have to deal with the problem.
And then you have to deal with it.
Yeah, you got people who'll do that, and it's like You not fit to do that. You not fit to come in here. And then I had one person, I had somebody, they wrote them up for being outside of their cell. I pulled them out. So how you gonna write a case on them? So they ended up writing a case on them. I told the inmate, look, when you go to court, have them call me and tell them I let you out because that's not cool. If you come on somebody's wing and say, well, what is he doing now? I let him out. He's helping me. Why are you worried? But you got people who will hate a certain type of inmate and they don't want to see them out or they just got a grudge against them. So it's like, you know what I mean? They upset.
Hmm.
Well, that ain't my problem. You know what I mean? That ain't my problem. Well, you got an issue with them. But right now they doing something for me. So that's what I'm dealing with. So I'm like putting my boundaries down. And as I'm putting my boundaries down, I'm known as a bitch around there. But I could care less.
That's wild.
That's what I'm telling you. It's crazy. It's crazy. And you'll have like I told you, you'll have inmates that even have your back. You know, I have inmates even coming to me and say, hey, officer so and so said so and so. Or they about to come to your wing and do a so and so. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
That's
Inmates,
wild.
inmates will come back and tell you. When you get set up. It'd be crazy.
That's wild. And see, that's what I'm saying. Like even in the hospital, I was like, bro, we supposed to be here saving people lives, and y'all be on some petty stuff. Like, bro, y'all be trying to
Heavy,
get people
messy stuff.
fired, and like, bro, we all supposed to be in this together, bro. You trying to get me fired, bro, over a disagreement because you don't like this or you don't like you weird. Like that's just weirdo stuff to me, man.
It's very weird. And you would think that in these type of professions, people would act a certain way. Man,
It's cutthroat.
strippers probably act better than these corporate environments. You know what I'm
Man, I mean, you ain't lying because I mean they be trying to get money together in these corporate environments. It'd be like shark infested water, man.
It'd be
Like
competition.
it'd be cutthroat. They be cutthroat, boy.
I'm sure the strippers they probably get into it too, you know what I mean? Because they be like, it's competition between them too. But I'm
Like
just
Players Club,
saying, man.
Players Club.
Yeah, yeah, like Players Club or whatever. But man, I'm just saying though, it be bad. These hospitals, just certain places you think it's supposed to be a certain way.
And
Man,
I'm I'm no longer surprised about human behavior. I am no longer surprised about human behavior.
I'm not either. That's why I say I don't even care anymore. I don't care to manage anyone's emotions. Cause all the
Mm-mm.
stuff that I done been through, I don't care. I don't care what you think. And if you think a certain way, okay, well, I'm gonna let you keep thinking that. Cause I don't care to influence you. I don't care to change your mind. I don't care to motivate you. I don't care for none of that. For real. That's where I'm at right now. You know, if you want to go around telling people I'm this, okay, well fine. I'm gonna let people think this and that. You know what I mean? I've had people come back and tell me stuff already. Like it was like my first week working there. I had somebody coming back saying certain stuff about me. And the
Wow.
person came back and told me, and I was like, wow. I'm like, dang, you know? Because you have conversation with an inmate, I'm known to be friendly to inmates. You know, that's the talk that I'm friendly with inmates. You know, and the thing is with me is that um I honestly feel like some of these people you could change their life by really having a conversation with them. Some, not all, cause some is just ignorant and gonna stay ignorant. Yeah, and they're gonna stay ignorant. But I just feel like for some, I feel like it's something that you could say to them that could trigger them.
Can inspire, motivate,
Yeah.
definitely. You know,
hmm And I
just
feel
like
like
on
I've
here,
had
these
I feel like I've said that to a few people. I've inspired them. I've triggered them in some kind of way.
like these are human beings. These are people. You know, they made mistakes. A lot of them. You know, they just didn't. Sometimes people don't know no better until they know better. I mean, that's you know, if you grow up in a certain type of environment and that's all you know. I mean, I just look at what exists, right? And I experienced that. You know, I've been around people like this all they know. You know, they haven't really been outside the hood, let alone been outside the state, let alone been outside the country. This all they know. So how you go blame someone? This is like after a while, a lot of things become innate. After you done did something so many times, it just comes natural. And sometimes people are put in hopeless situations where they can't see the bigger picture. They can't look outside, you know, the hood. They don't see that. You know, the suburbs is just around the corner. They don't see that. All they see is death and pain. You know, and they just trying to survive that. Not saying every scenario, but it's people. I know people like that, and you give them an opportunity, or you make them aware of different things, and sometimes people, you know, they once they see it and they know is available, they go after it, and that will correct behavior. You know, that will create a whole different perception of life for someone. You know, sometimes these people ain't have nobody to say or to motivate them or to feel like they even care about them enough. You know, you don't know what people, you know, until you know people's story. Don't you really don't know? Some people got some hard ass lives, man. Hard ass lives. I know some great people right now. I'm talking about character, pristine. You know, they had a hard upbringing growing up, and their mama, you know, a prostitute. They grew up. My one boy, he grew up in a whorehouse. I was like, bro, he was telling me stories. I'm like, he's like, but I love my mama. She did everything to take care of me. It was just, I couldn't imagine that, bro. Like, I couldn't imagine that, man. That's messed up. It's like you see dudes go in and out your mama room, and you know that, like, man, that can, you know, really mess somebody's head up. But um, it didn't with him.
hmm I got this one inmate. He worked real close to me, and he's realizing emotional. I don't know what would you call it, emotional intelligence. I guess because we had a conversation where he was like, you know what? I had one. I think he takes a class or something, and he said one teacher that told him that like, can't nobody really make him mad unless you make yourself.
Unless
He's
you
like,
accept it,
yeah.
and
And
that's
he said,
true,
I never
honestly.
understood that. He said, I never understood that. But it's like, he say like when people say certain things to you, it's something inside of you that triggers you to make you mad. Either you can, whatever it is that somebody say, either you it could roll off of you, it could not bother you, or you could be triggered by it.
Hmm.
It's up to you. And I'm like, yeah, that's really what it's all about. It's really up to you, you know.
And that's like, think about what I was saying earlier. Like when I was saying, like when people tried to show like their superiority or they was better than me, it used to trigger me because I used to feel it. It was something inside of me. It was an insecurity within me. A lot of times when you trigger, it's because that's what a trigger is. It's something wrong. Like someone is crossing a boundary or something. But
Mm-hmm.
it's ultimately up to you. And then that's what I said. Like one of the things that helped me was like, who are you? This person has no significance. So why do I even care what they say? I got to that point. Like I really assessed the situation. Like, okay, guess what? Nothing else. People go try to pull you down to their level. So let me
Mm-hmm.
analyze and see who this person is. Oh, identified. I'm not coming down there with you. Have a nice life. You just projected. And then I mean, after so long, I started reading people. I can start telling people why they lashing out on me.
Mm-hmm. And a
I
lot of
remember.
the times, man, why people, what I feel like I've learned a lot of the times why people lash out is projection.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is they saying or whatever, that shit is them. That's all it is. It's them. Like how they doing me, you a racist. Nah, your ass is a racist. That's what it is. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Like how when people be saying certain stuff, it really be about them. That's really what it be. They be feeling some type of way, low key.
And that's like if you and like man, I remember I was working in this hospital and this coworker, I thought we was cool. She just started snapping on me one day. And I'm looking at her like, man, I am not your husband. She got so mad when I said that. But later on found out they was having problems. But I felt it like, bro, that's projection. You ain't mad at me, you mad at him. You just
She
taking it
mad
out
at
on me.
him. Yeah,
Yeah. Like you mad
that's
at
what
him,
it
you just taking
is.
it out on me. Like so I felt it. Like I knew it. Like just from the way she was structuring words, like, bro, you ain't never talked to me like that. And I'm like, why are you so angry? Like you just like, nah, bro. I am not him. That ain't me. I didn't do whatever he did. We good. We cool. You just tripping. They was like, oh, you should get her fired. I'm like, man, she having a bad day, bro. I ain't even mad, bro. I ain't even. I'm good. Oh my God, you gonna let her get away with that, bro? We all had bad days. They was like, you want me to send her home? I was like, nah, just don't do that no more. We good. Like I ain't trying to come at you sideways for nothing.
Hmm.
Like, I don't even want you to get in trouble. I never fuck with you again like that. We was cool. No, we can't be cool like that no more. But no, you good.
Man, and sometimes it be your aura. I'm telling your aura just you just happy, bright type of I don't know. Sometimes your aura, people be mad at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just be
Mm-hmm.
upset and angry at that.
They
And
be.
that's how they be disturbed spiritually.
Mm-hmm. They want something. You got something that they can't have.
Yeah,
That's why
people be
I used.
disturbed spiritually, and that's a problem. That's something that you gotta work on.
And you know where I came to that understanding that I used to wonder like how can this person have more than me and be hating on me? Like that shit don't even make sense. Like you make more money, you got a bigger house and car, bro, and you just like, bro, you obsessed with hating
You
on me.
upset because why
Yeah,
you
what is
got
it?
peace, you living life,
Mm-hmm.
you living free, and they be mad at that because they want
Mm-hmm.
that. Even though they got all the money in the world, they be mad because they want that peace.
Mm-hmm. You
Shit.
at peace with being where you are and what you are, and they not. They still looking for these materialistic things to fill them up. You ever notice that? Like just working with doctors, man. It used to be, and you can tell the doctors that was content and at peace. And I'm not saying all doctors, but you can see the difference in them because it was some doctors, they got some nice little art pieces. they got a nice little modest life. They got, you know, the wife, the kids, and they just regular ass people. You won't even tell like the way they interact with you. You won't even tell like, damn, you a badass surgeon. Like you a bad, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then you got these doctors. They get all the bells and whistles, all the toys, all the new stuff. They trying to date all the nurses. You know, it's like they constantly trying to fill themselves up because they're not happy internally. So they trying to use these material things, they status, their wealth. They trying to use all this to replace what they don't have inside, and it never works. That shit never works. You will keep buying and spending and gaining and doing, and it never works. And all the time they wonder why, you know, people gravitating to this person who have less, because the person is more pleasant.
More
Person is at
pleasant, more
peace.
happier.
Mm-hmm.
All of that.
Does it is because it's internal. It's just in them and it comes out of them. Whatever's inside of you, I'm telling you, man. You just sit back and watch people. One like 2 years from now, y'all gonna be like, y'all remember Word kept saying, well, whatever inside you gonna come out. Everybody gonna be saying it. Watch, give it 2 years. It's just facts. Whatever's inside of you, that shit gonna come out. No matter if it's good or bad, it's gonna come out. So if you got that hate, that envy, I had to recognize that in myself. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff I'm telling you is because I experienced it. Most of it. Some of it is what I, you know, observed. Some of it is what I learned from other people. But I'm telling you, if you take the time and do self-reflection, you will learn so much about yourself. Not only who you are, but what you are. You know, but it takes self-reflection, and it takes. Sometimes you have to look at the most ugliest parts of you to understand how beautiful those parts truly are. Those parts
Part.
make
Say,
you.
hold on, say that again. Cause that was a
Sometimes,
word right there for from the word.
sometimes you gotta look at what you think is the most ugliest parts of you to realize how beautiful they really are. You know, the things that make us different, the things that make us what people may consider weak. Like when you said, you know, I took a slide back.
Hmm.
No, that's a beautiful thing. You know why? Because you're aware of that. You weren't aware of that 5 years ago, 10 years ago, but now you are. That's progression, that's growth. What was once a
Man.
weakness is becoming a strength just by you acknowledging it. Now
Talk
you
that
you are
talk.
you are taking the power to change. It's when we are not aware, when we are defenseless, when we are at our lowest, when we're not aware. But once we recognize it, we have now taken the power. We have the ability to create and design whatever we desire. We are creators. We just have to wake up and be aware. That's
Man,
it.
you said a whole word. But I ain't gonna hold you. Uh people can get mad at what it said, but when you focused on the religion, sometimes you can't even focus on yourself and what you got going on.
You're not. You're trying to be obedient to something outside of you, and
But
you
I
ain't
didn't
being
been there.
obedient to
That's
what's
why
inside of you.
I didn't
That's
been
why
there.
you
That's why
suffer.
I'm saying it. Because I remember when I was obedient to the religion and this and that. I wasn't focused on what exactly what you're saying. I wasn't focused on as far as me, what I had going on, the qualities of me, things I needed to work on. No. I was just trying to worship and focus on my religion. But when you begin this spirituality, this thing is a beast, I'm telling you. Because when you
Man,
start trying to work on your emotions and certain things about yourself, exactly what word said, focusing on the ugly parts of you, baby. Ooh, that's a journey right there. Focusing on the ugly
mm-hmm.
parts of you. Hmm.
See that part, you know, that's probably the hardest part. But even that's all perception. You know, that's all perception because those ugly parts give you the opportunity to create beauty. Like think about this, right? Say if you buy a house and you got a vegetable bed and there's a whole bunch of dead weeds in it, right? Most people look at that like, dang, that's a eyesore, right? But when you are a creator, you'll look at that like, you know what? All I gotta do is clean that out, throw some fresh fertilizer in there. We're gonna have some banging vegetables in it. It's all about perception. That's like the glass half full or half empty. So those ugly parts, it just gives you the opportunity. Those are and a lot of times, those, like I said, those come out to be the most beautiful parts of you when you work on them. Those
When
come
you
out to
work
be the
on
most,
them.
when you work on them, those become the most beautiful parts. That's what evolves you. That's what transmutes you or transcends you.
Yep.
Those ugly parts are the reason that's the things we need to work on to become whole. All the other parts good. Them good. Let's work on the ugly one.
Man. He said a word, boy. Word from the word. You need to clip that.
Look, that I think it was at 2 minutes. I'm gonna clip that.
Clip that. For real. Because that was a good one right there. That was a real good one, what you said.
Man, I get thanks to y'all, man. Y'all pull it out of me.
Yeah, but about oh, I wish I would have been in the live last night about that DJ academics. That was
Uh,
crazy.
yeah, we'll do a part two. I got the actual video. Like I don't have to review anyone else's video. I got the actual video from the Discord. Like that heard that is wild. I mean, we heard it, but when you like listen to it without interruption, like everything that I said, man, it's his behavior, how calm, how relaxed, how comfortable he was saying those things. You know, even after the boy was very witty. He was very alert. He actually was more mature than anybody in the room because he was telling them beforehand, like, bro, that's a, he basically told them it was inappropriate by telling them, hey, I'm 15. Hey, that's grooming. Like he's giving you like chill, bro. He's saying things that should make you feel uncomfortable, but they wouldn't. Why wouldn't you be uncomfortable if a 15-year-old is telling you like, hey, that's grooming? If a 15-year-old is telling you, hey, I'm not gay, why would that not make you feel uncomfortable? That's like a woman saying stop. So I mean that just shows the behavior. And then his reactions, it just clarified everything that I said. That ain't the first time he did that. And it ain't gonna be the last time until he's look, people like that, they not sorry because they did something wrong. They sorry because they got caught doing it. It's a different. Plenty of that behavior, the way he acted, and coming from I forget what country he's from, but you know, like we here in America take a lot of things for granted. A lot of these kids in these other countries, they got to grow up kind of fast, so they got to grow up a little faster than you know our kids. So they be hip to a lot of stuff at an earlier age. You don't know what that kid been through. I know he's separated from his parents right now. Hold on, got a phone call. I didn't even know she dropped down. He fending for himself. Yeah, yeah. The abundance of intelligence, wisdom, and peace is more monetary aspect. Bro. But yeah, it is like when I speak about emotional intelligence, I'm telling you my journey. That's why I can give you different. We can call them tools. We can call them contingency plans. Various things. You know, the easiest way to be in the moment when you're trying to be aware of what emotion you in is to question yourself. You know, and like I said, the more you do it, the better you get at it. And you can start not only don't wait for something bad to happen. When you feel good, question yourself. Identify where that feeling is coming from so you can replicate it. When I say care about how you feel, you gotta take that seriously, man. You gotta be prepared to change your feelings because you don't want to feel bad. You want to feel good. You got to be willing to do whatever you got to do for yourself. So caring about how you feel, man, you practice that, you have more peace in life. And the reason I say that is because the more you care, the less likely you'll put yourself in bad situations around the wrong people in the wrong environment. You'll start healing from the things that hurt you in the past. And those things that hurt you in the past, once you heal from it, just like any wound, it becomes stronger. Yeah, you might have scars, but those scars healed. And now it's just a trophy of what you overcame. It's about perception, how you look at it. Like I hear people say, "I'm a survivor," right? Understand what a survivor is. So a survivor is someone who made it through a traumatic experience. That sounds good, but you're still a victim. We warriors. We fought through it. Came out on the other side stronger, better. Our past didn't break us, it made us. Be warriors. Leave that survivor alone. Leave that to the people who want to be victims. We warriors. Different mindset. You get to a point where you understand that life comes with some things, good and bad, right? So enjoy the good and prepare for the bad. That's it. Not hard, not complicated. Arm yourself mentally, physically, and spiritually. You should be ready for whatever life has to throw your way. You either plan for success or you planning to fail. That's just reality. Life is an opportunity itself to grow. That's what adversity is, an opportunity to grow. Change the way you look at something, you'll change the way you'll go about doing something. So if you look at hard times as painful situation, that's what you go get. But if you look at it as an opportunity to learn, to grow, sometimes things are taken away from us because it's no longer needed. And sometimes it's hard to let go, but that's how the universe works. Sometimes we so stubborn, the universe got to step in and take things out our way so we can get to where we're going. Some things hold us back. The act and not the trauma. Yeah, that's how it be. When you're a survivor, that's a perfect way to put it. They survived the act, but they still dealing with the trauma. You hear my horse? I'm surprised there's still water in there. And then you go drip it all over my floor. No, don't come over here. I'm not petting you. Don't bother me. Yeah, but I ain't gonna probably stay on too long. At least for 2.5 hours. That was a good show. I appreciate Tay Eats y'all. Tay Eats y'all. Selena. Appreciate you coming up. But yeah, this was a good conversation, and I hope people got something out of it. Right? You know, like I said, you trying to manage other people's emotion. Like I said, that should be a form of investment. So like I said, my wife, my family, my kids, those people, yeah. I will invest that time and that effort into it, because it's gonna pay out. That's fam. Even if I don't directly benefit from it, I know my family, someone else in my family will. So a better you is a better us. So if I had an opportunity to make anybody in my family better, of course. But it just take too much to try to do it for other people. Right. And that's even if the person allows you, and this is life. We got enough on our plate to be trying to manage. But we can't. This is another way that we can manage people emotions. Okay, so let me stand corrected. This is another way, and I meant to say this probably an hour ago, 2 hours ago. Education, right? That's why I talk about emotional intelligence. That's why I'm teaching emotional intelligence, because education is also a good way to manage other people's emotion. But like I said, they have to be open to learning, to knowledge. But education is a very effective way, an efficient way, especially if people looking for it. Because if someone is looking for it, then they're gonna be willing to learn it. If that's what if they seek it, they be more likely to learn it versus you just giving it to them. They probably be like, okay, yeah, I'll learn that later. Put it on the back burner. But if someone is seeking it, yeah, they definitely, So education is another way. I know I said that at the end of the video. That kind of sucks. But thought you was outside with the dog. Did I change my mic back? Do I still sound like I'm in Timu? No, she was over here. She done cleared her dog bowl. On the go out. Play the outro. I don't know if I want to make that the outro or the intro. You like that? You missed the part where the dog was drinking the water. You ain't hear all that? Man. Yeah, she was laughing. She was definitely laughing. Definitely laughing. But yeah, so yeah, I was gonna do something tomorrow, but I forgot. Forgot what I was gonna do tomorrow. I had a show in mind too. I totally forgot what I was gonna do. But we might just do an open panel. No, that's a deer. You better leave my baby alone. The managing by education. Yeah, definitely. You can definitely educate someone and manage that person's emotions. Like I said, if they're looking for it, they're open to it. You can definitely help. There's a way you can help manage their emotions by giving them the proper tools and education. There's a lot of times, like I said, a lot of times, even when I hear people say emotional intelligence, I'll be waiting for the breakdown of it because a lot of, like I said, a lot of these concepts, we're aware of them. People are very aware of them, but they're hard to practice. Like I'm telling you, I'm being 100% honest when I say this. I ain't saying it for no rules or nothing like that. It took me about 5 years before it clicked. Like, okay, I understand it. And then, like I said, I had to put different things in place. Like it might be different from you. A lot of times you hear people say, I take deep breaths. I start doing deep breathing exercises when they get upset. That's because they're aware, and that's emotional regulation. They're regulating. That's how they regulate. The reason they taking a deep breath is because they're aware. Hey, I'm upset. Now they're going into action. What's the next step? Okay, I have to regulate. I have to regulate my emotions. Well, I can't do that right now. What can I do? I can take a step back and I can do some deep breathing, or I can walk away from the situation, take a breath, and come back. Oftentimes you'll hear people say that. I walk away. That's a form of regulation. Like what I said, I ask myself questions. That's a form of regulation. So this person is practicing emotional intelligence. They became aware of the emotion, which is one of the hardest parts, but then they go into action to regulate it. And then the third step, are you able to properly express the emotion? Okay, how can I tell you I'm upset without calling you an MF and all this stuff? Hey, you know what you really said, I felt that was disrespectful. We're gonna get a common ground, you don't do that again. We good. Okay, cool. My bad. I didn't mean it that way. A lot of times it just be misunderstandings or misinterpretation. But if you react without understanding the person's intent, even if they wrong, even if their intent was in malice, they still got you to move. They got you to react. You a puppet. This is what I used to tell myself. Because it was the truth. Even if they said something on purpose to make me react, guess what I did? I did exactly what they wanted me to do. I had to tell myself that. Because they are still in control. If a person gets you to react, remember they initiated the action. So they're in control. 9 times out of 10, their intent was for you to do whatever you did. That was their intent, and you did it. So who's in control? I was on the path of self-mastery, so I couldn't allow anyone to control me with words, because those was my initial triggers, was words. Then I had to learn action. I had to ignore a lot of ignorance or what people tried to do and not let it. As long as you me, I was cool. Some people hit a wall. Yeah, I know that. You think it'd be hard? It is. I mean, like I said, the person got to be open to it. The person ain't open to it, I'm not interested. That's like I don't like talking to people who only hear. I don't like talking to people who only hear. It annoys me. That's the what for the why that may be necessary for some people. Yeah, yeah. Some people right-handed, some people left-handed. You know. So I mean, sometimes the what come before the why, and sometimes the why come before the what. Yep. But yeah, let me. I think it is on the outro. I think I did. Yeah, it is on the outro. I think 1 minute and 48 seconds long. That's the longest. No, that I think I made one almost 2 minutes. Let me get my butt out of here. It was dope being able to come on here a little early. The whole house sleeps, so I got to pop on a little early. But yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. I'll probably be back tomorrow, either tomorrow or after Gary Friday. My wife got to work this weekend, so I'm gonna see if I can pop on like at 11, a little early this weekend too. Gary, I thought you kept saying a Tank fight was this weekend. Tank ain't fighting till March 1st. David Benavidez and David Morrell fighting Friday or Saturday. They fighting is Benavidez Darrell. Tank they pushed that fight back to March 1st. So the Tank fighter, because the David Benavidez fight was supposed to be on the undercard of the Tank fight, but I don't know. Something happened. They pushed the fight back to March 1st. So that fight will be March 1st. All right, let me get my butt off here because I'm gonna keep talking. I appreciate everybody came out. Hey man, y'all remember, do me a favor, man. Y'all hit that like button for me, and remember, do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit the share, and if I say anything that resonated with you, hit the share button again. Tell somebody. Help me spread the word. But until next time, we out. Oh, Elimination Chamber fight. I thought you was talking about the Royal Rumble. Because ain't the Royal Rumble Saturday? Or this Saturday? Okay. So it's a fight this Saturday and a Royal Rumble. All right, let me get out of here.
What up, Nine?
Trapaholics Mixtapes.
As the 9% and word would say, make a better you, a better us.
Who do you think you are? I'm the word. I'm the one who put in the work.
Get you a word. Nana nana boo boo.